Hey guys, Danny here. Before we start today's episode, I did want to give you guys a bit of a trigger warning. The topic for today does involve some serious matters such as alcoholism, depression, mental health, a word I'm not sure I can say on YouTube. So if those aren't topics that you feel essentially comfortable with, we completely understand if you need to skip this week's episode, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Other than that, let's start today's episode.
Hi, guys. If you couldn't hear, Lilia is like loud and clear now because this is a very special episode. Lilia, tell them all about it.
Woo!
Not woo. Tell them why is it special?
Okay, ma'am. You know, yelling. We are having a BTS week, and this episode is going to be on their lovely, lovely drama.
My favorite thing about this is one, you're very that, but also you started off by saying we're having a BTS week. That's something you would say in the other episode we're doing. Because this is the end of the BTS.
This is continuing our
this
BTS
is the
week.
end of the BTS week.
Whatever, same difference.
This is our end of our BTS week. We're going to be taking a look. We're going to be taking a look at the TV series based on the 2 books and the web series.
The albums.
Was it a web series also?
Yes, but it's based off the albums more.
Whatever. Begin equals youth. Begin youth.
Begins you.
Begins youth. Lilia forced me to do an episode on this. I didn't want to do it.
By the time you guys are hearing this, it's going to be April 11th, which is such a beautiful day in BTS history.
Woo. Not with the woo. Stop with the wooing. Explain why we're doing this.
I just did. It's because it's April 11th. Oh, you have the books. I didn't know you had both of them. I really didn't. I thought you only had the first one.
I've been having these.
That's good.
I've had these since they came out.
I love that for you.
I got them at a very specific bookstore that we won't talk about, but my favorite thing is in the first volume, they they scratched off how much it was, and because it was cheaper to get in Korea than it was there.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't think you could get these at Barnes and Nobles.
No. I got mine's off. Get this. I got mine's when it was still called the Big Hit Shop.
I need to get a new copy of the first one. Because my copy, it's like, I don't know what the fuck happened here.
Oh, I have an extra copy. But that's because the first copy I bought, I had coffee spill on it, and I was really sad about it, so I bought an extra copy. And then I got it in Spanish, too.
What's BU?
Bangtan Universe.
Is that, oh, okay.
Like the MCU, they got the BU.
Shut up. Just shut up. I will say I do like there's a little, I like the epilogue is just pictures.
That's, okay, never mind. Sorry. I just got excited because the last page it makes sense. It clicked after a while,
I want to point out Lilia read these in anticipation of this. I did not have time because...
I read half of it. I couldn't finish it.
Okay, same shit. Because we record like 3 or 4 episodes a session. So I am usually watching 3 or 4 shows at once and just don't have time to read for this as well. It's kind of why our Kin Porsche episode keeps getting delayed. One, because I don't have the last volume because I think it's coming out next month or this. Oh wait, it comes out this month. The last volume of Kin Porsche. So that's 6 volumes I got to start reading so that when I'm done reading them, we can finally do a Kin Porsche episode.
Yeah.
Probably not until next year.
Oh.
Or the end of the year. Actually, we could probably do that at the end of the year. Anyway, so the other reason why we're having a BTS week, if you didn't hear our previous episode that came out earlier by the time that this drops, is BTS is back. They're back, baby! They're back, baby! They recently released their album, Arelize. They had their Korean concert. And actually, the other reason why we're doing this week is not only is it the date in which the story takes place, and Arelize has been out, I think, now a month. But this week, BTS embarks on their first group tour in almost, 3-4 years?
Oh, yeah.
By time, if we're dropping this on the 10th, like that's the plan, they'll have had their first show on April 9th.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, BTS is back, baby. I sound like John Mulaney when I do that. I really do. I love John Mulaney. I don't give a fuck what anyone says about that. He's funny. But, so, yeah, this is our BTS episode. This is probably one of the few times you'll have Lilia on as my cohort. So before we actually start talking about the show, can we talk about the frustrations that I had with the show? Because this is the reason why I don't like doing shows that I don't have access to at a streaming service. I'm all for pirating TV shows. I'm not gonna go and be like illegally whatever. Because I can understand why it can be a lot like really expensive to do a lot of streaming services at once. And I'm very grateful that I can budget myself to have like all these streaming services. Like I just realized this week that I'm gonna have to pay for WeTV if I'm gonna do a couple of the shows that I want to do on WeTV soon, because I can't get rid of Vicky because we're doing I Love Teacher. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna do all these shows. The series that this was dropped in, I have no idea what stream. I don't think this was accessible to international fans.
It was like X something.
But I think you had to pay using
Crypto.
yeah, which was I was very confused. I don't know if this was a Big Hit decision. I feel like this has to be the studio decision. I don't understand why Big Hit allowed that.
It was an exclusive. That's what it's called.
But I don't understand why this was not like a Disney thing, a Disney Plus thing. Because Disney Plus has all their documentaries.
I feel like
They could have dropped it on Amazon. They have like 2 of their tour movies. Netflix got the live concert. What I'm saying is that BTS by that point, by the time this series had come out, had been decently big enough that if they had taken this to any fucking streaming service, any of them would have said yes.
I think it's more because they just don't want to confuse people.
But it doesn't help, because if you're trying to attract fans, we couldn't watch this without it being on an illegal website.
And that's true too.
And it was annoying because I watched it on Daily Motion. You can find it on Daily Motion. I don't care, because it's one of those series that at this point it's gonna keep getting uploaded by people. But it was frustrating because Daily Motion does like I couldn't fast forward or rewind without getting interrupted by 2 or 3 commercials. And because these episodes are an hour and 10 minutes long each, I'm watching them at 2x because it's so much. The plot, I'm going to make it clear. I don't care for the story. I know there's lore and everything. I love BTS for their music. The music videos are great. I'm here for the little storylines and everything, but I'm not gonna read a whole like webtoon series. I don't know why I bought. They did that second webtoon series.
Taco?
Yeah, I have the book. I bought it at Comic-Con last year. It's a hardcover. I'm never gonna be able to take that out of my house because I don't like carrying. It's heavy.
That's in the Bible. I remember I saw it.
It's basically just sitting on my shelf next to their biography, which also I took out. Like, I can't read webtoons. It's really hard for me. Like, I have 2 webtoons that I was reading. So I've read Lord Olympus and Let's Play. Those are 2 webtoon series. I stopped reading both of them because I just couldn't do it because my eyes would it would get frustrating to scroll. I just don't like the scrolling aspects. Like if I'm reading a comic, I like having a physical copy. I do have a physical copy of Let's Play, and I had been collecting the Lord Olympus ones. I only stopped because they were just really heavy, really big, and I just couldn't carry them with me when I would go out. So that's the excuse for me stopping that. I also got a little bit bored with it, but whatever. Let's Play I do somewhat like. I'm trying to get back into it. I just didn't understand if like the exclusivity to not be confusing. You're making it confusing anyway by changing the names of the characters.
That wasn't too bad. I think it was just more they just wanted to separate like the universe from the actual boys, because there were people thinking that was their actual story.
I don't care. It was so confusing. I had to keep remembering. By the way, I want to point out when we do talk about the show, when we start talking about it, we're gonna reference them by the names of the boys. Okay? In all my notes, all you see is V, Jin, RM, all that. Because you know what? In my opinion, if you're going to do it, just do it. This series could have been it could have been more popular if they had just kept the boys' names and then just dropped it on any service. Because it would have attracted more people to the webtoons. It would have attracted more people to the books. More people. I mean, they're already the biggest act in the world, so it doesn't really matter. But I was like, you're making this for the fans. Do it for the fans. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. You have to put in the beginning. Because here's the thing. They still have to put in the beginning anyway that this is not based on BTS's family or their life and everything. So what is the point of putting all that in there if you're just going to change the names?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And they still use BTS's music. So it's like I'm getting so heated because I was just so annoyed by all of this. It was really annoying having to watch this. I had to watch this at 2x speed, and I couldn't get through the last few episodes. I don't remember a lot of what happened. So Lily is going to be mostly talking. That's my little rant. Also, I just didn't like that you had to pay with cryptocurrency. That's what really got me mad. Is that you had to pay with crypto. Who the fuck? What regular fan has that?
That is very true.
I remember when it was coming out, there were people like asking for donations so that they could get into the site to get the episodes, to post it for everyone else to watch. So you're not making money off this anyway. Also, I know people said that it's open-ended, I think the ending, or it's like open enough for a second season. They're never going to make a second season because not enough people watched it. Even though a lot of people say it's really good, because it just wasn't available.
I feel like for the time being, it was better to keep it exclusive. I just wish they had I would have preferred to had it come out on Weverse. You know what I mean?
That's the problem
I'd rather have paid for it on Weverse than on exclusive.
But that's the problem is that, yeah, it was exclusive, but it was so exclusive, we didn't watch it when it dropped. I would have watched it when it dropped, but it was exclusive to the point where, like, we didn't even have the currency that was needed for it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it would have been a good idea to put it on, like, Disney or Netflix, like you're saying, but something a little bit more, like, Weverse.
It would have ended up on Netflix or Disney because Weverse no longer does videos like that anymore, though.
They should, though.
They don't, because it's not cost effective. And they have too many artists now that it doesn't make sense. I agree that Weverse would have been the place, but looking at it now, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, why do that then? What was the point of doing this project when they could have waited? I mean, not waited. I mean, what I'm trying to say is there was no point in releasing this series when they did, and especially with how they did it, when they could have... It could have been released now, and it would have been more accessible, because at least they would have had the likes of Disney Plus and Netflix willing to host it. And then it would have been accessible to more fans. Yeah, Weverse would have been it. But at some point, now knowing what we know about Weverse now, it would have had to have been moved on to some type of site. Because a lot of their concert films are no longer accessible on Weverse. You have to get them now through. I think some of them are now on Amazon. So you know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean about that. It just seems like they didn't really think this through in terms of, like, letting fans enjoy it. And it's kind of just frustrating.
Well, I mean, it's been in the talks forever. That's the other thing, too.
So it still could have been in the talks. Like, there was no need to, like, rush release that shit.
It should have come out a lot sooner, though. That's the other thing. Like, it should have come out, like, 2018. Like, before the pandemic, for sure. Because after pandemic, they kind of stopped the whole BU anyway.
What's crazy... Well, they haven't... I mean, that's the other problem is, like, they don't do nothing with this anymore. They're never going to do a second season because they don't need to. They've moved on to this whole... What is this? What is it called? The new one?
The new album?
No, the new series.
Oh, the
webtoon.
Chaco one?
Yeah. And then they have Starseeker.
Well, that's TXT.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Now they have that, and then they have the Unhyphen one. So it's like... that's their webtooniverse. Is that each of their boy groups have, or at least their most top three. Because I wouldn't be surprised if in the next year, Cordis gets one.
That'd be so cute.
Cordis is going to get one. Because now it's like, are these even accessible?
Yeah.
Can we still get these?
Well, technically, every page on those came inside the album in a mini booklet.
I remember that. But I'm saying, like, it's just, I'm not a company stan, per se. I know I've defended Big Hit in the past on certain decisions just because I look at it through a business perspective. But it is kind of funny how certain projects that they are given or have to them get fumbled so easily. Like, this easily could have been such a bigger thing. And it came out to nothing. Because we didn't get those notes in 7, did we? Map of the Soul 7. Was it called 7? What was it called?
Yeah, Map of the Soul.
Did we get it in that one? I don't have that album anymore. I sold my copies because they were too big.
I think so. Because that album was supposed to be the last part of the BU. Because Persona did get them.
I know Persona got them. I still have my Persona ones.
It did come with the notes. I see it.
It did?
It did.
Okay.
I think that's why they released the second book. Because the second book has the notes from the more recent album.
So, volume 1 was published. They were both published in 2020, back to back.
So yeah.
Because I got these. These are like first editions, and they both say first published in 2020.
So one was in the later year? I definitely remember getting the second one after.
Yeah, I would say this one's probably a few months apart, but it most likely was published within the same time.
So and the second one for sure has the notes from these albums.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I just feel like it's just a waste of a project. Because now we don't do anything with it. Mm-mm. We had BE was after 7, right? Or was it Proof?
So it's Mod 7, then B, then Proof.
And B and Proof are like a new era. Because B and... Because in between we got Butter. The physical
Permission
version.
to Dance.
Dynamite. Obviously it was first.
That was on B.
So was Butter and Dynamite and Permission to Dance.
That was a separate.
Oh, right. Butter was separate, but then in Proof, I think they're both on there.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, because Proof is more like a compilation, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and then now we have Arirang. So we're not doing anything with this anymore. It's just kind of like, if you were going to do a series, you could have kept the original names. We could have gotten 2 seasons out of this. Sure, do it on Weverse. It wouldn't have mattered because then eventually would have gone on. I could have seen them selling the distributing rights to this to like Disney Plus. This definitely would have been a show that Disney Plus would have had in their category. It fits with the other K-dramas that they have in there.
You think so? I haven't seen any of the K-dramas.
So they have like Snowdrop is one of them. That's the Jisoo one. That's set in like the 70s. It was like controversy in it because of, I mean, I'm not going to too much into it, but it's like set in the past as well. It's like set in the 70s or something. I can't remember. But I feel like it fits the vibes of some of the shows that they have there, some of the dramas they have. I feel like it would just fit in well. Plus, as Disney Plus was the first one to kind of take all of the documentaries and stuff. So I think that would have been a good fit in terms of like all the big hit stuff that they were putting on there anyway. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I don't care much. I'm very indifferent when it comes to this show. I just don't care. I struggled. I couldn't get through it. And it's not because of the lore or anything. I just couldn't. Anyway, read the synopsis, Lilia.
All right, synopsis time. The drama follows 7 boys navigating school and personal growth, each facing challenges like family struggles, loss, poverty, and rejection. After returning to Seongju-si, Kim Hwan meets 6 boys who initially view him with suspicion, but over time, they become close friends, bonding over shared hardships. As they support each other, Hwan grows fond of Seongju-si and wishes to stay. However, his father, Kim Chang-jun, disapproves of the friendship and demands Hwan distance himself, leading Hwan to confront his emotions and stand up for himself. You want to guess where that's from?
I got it from my drama list.
Yeah.
Oh, are you looking at my notes?
Oh no, I just googled it.
I got it from my drama list. I was like, I thought that's why I thought you were reading it off my notes.
Specifically adapted from the webtoon. Save me, just to put that out there. You would know that.
Do they use the boys' names in the webtoon, or is it these names? Do you know?
No, in the webtoon they use the boys' names.
Okay, again, they could have just kept it regular, because it just would have been Namjoon, Yoongi, Taehyung. It wouldn't have been far off.
I mean, I don't know.
They use the same last names.
Yeah, but the thing is that they are using the names from the Chaco series, meaning that they started recording, I guess, or the last script was out after that webtoon came out. That's what I'm saying. They should have worked on this, had the script ready before that. Had they done that, it would have been the BTS name.
It should have been the BTS names from the beginning. Because it was annoying. It was annoying. I will give the actors credit. You are right. They did really give off the energy of like which member they were playing off of. It took me a second to figure out who was who, but after a while it did get kind of like, okay. I just feel like some of the looks were not there. Like, I don't understand why V's actor was given that haircut. Didn't fit.
I thought it fit.
Not if you're doing V. It didn't for me. Didn't for me. Can I just say one of the most depressing K-dramas I've ever watched? I don't like watching K-dramas because of this. Because they get so fucking depressing. The guy who plays Jin's dad was... I know it's him because I see his face every time the clip pops up. I'm pretty sure he's in a K-drama where he like cheats on his wife. I have to now I gotta look it up because I don't want to be like he's this guy and then turns out it's a different one. Hold on.
I got you. What did I say his name was?
I don't know. Oh, he was in The Glory. Okay, he was in The Glory. I know that one. Is he in the other one that I'm thinking about? He did The Glory and then did this one. That's insane.
He was already running off that depression.
That show, by the way, is on Netflix.
I've seen clips.
Hence why I'm like, this could have been a Netflix series. I'm thinking about a different actor then. He's not in the show that I was thinking about, but I'm pretty sure in The Glory he plays like an asshole. Because it's about, I think that show is about a woman who gets revenge on a bunch of rich kids that like were just sacks of shit. And he's one of them.
I didn't know there were 2 parts.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
Back to back, like a year apart, yeah. What's the next thing he's gonna be in? See, he's in a Disney Plus show. This Made in Korea thing, he's in a supporting role. It is a Disney Plus series. And so the 2 series he did after Begin Youth are both Disney Plus series. One of them literally a year after. That's fucking hilarious. What did I say? Exactly. Okay. Exactly. All the parents, what was I saying? Yeah. It's so annoying. It was so depressing. I just was like, by the end of it, was like, I don't want to keep watching such a sad show. Because nothing was going right for these boys. It was getting to a point where I'm like, I'm in the last episode. Are they all going to fucking die again or some shit? Because like...
That's basically what was insinuated.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, this is depressing. I don't want to watch a BTS series where all my favorite members die.
That's probably why they couldn't have the boys do it either.
You know what's depressing? That they killed off Yoongi. Spoiler alert, they killed off Yoongi. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Out of all that, also, I don't think the other boys know how to act. I only think 2 of them know how to act. 2 or 3, right? I think it's like V and Jin, you said?
Yeah.
I would have paid top dollar for Jin and V to have been in the series.
I don't know.
It would have made it easier for me to figure out which one was Jin and which one was me. Oh, Lillian wants me to tell you guys how I describe each character. So Jin is the rich one. RM's the poor smart one. Hobie's the orphan, right? V's got the drunk dad. Jungkook's got the shitty brother.
I like how you jumped. You went from regular ages.
I just never gonna do it in age order. Who am I missing? Jimin is crazy. He is. Okay, he's got a mental health problem, but in Korea he would just be crazy.
Oh my god.
Who am I missing?
Hobie.
I said Hobie. Hobie's the orphan. I said Jin, RM, Hobie.
Your favorite.
Oh, Yoongi. Yoongi, I don't know what the fuck his problem was. He was a lazy one. He was always sleeping. What's happening with him? He was like very cat-like.
He had a mystery to solve. Which, mind you, that mystery was insane.
I was confused.
That was the most stressful part of the, like, that and the way they were doing flashbacks was just so
he kept
annoying.
Getting attacked, and I was like, this principal, I'm gonna tell you right now, that principal, borderline almost creepy. How much he first off, how much he was kissing ass to Jin's dad, to the point where he had like the test answers on his desk, and that's why he had Jin clean his room. I was like, dude, you need to take 2 steps back because you're getting a little too close for my comfort. It was creepy.
But he was like that for 3 generations.
Still very creepy.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like...
Because he's working with high school children. It's creepy. And then the vendetta he has against Suga over his mom. Which, again, I was just like, why? Why are these 7 boys having the most? I want to point out right now. So this is not some. I feel like this is something that was spoken about in Parasite. Is that we really don't see a lot of what the poor looks like in Korea, but when you see the poor, they really are the poor. Like Parasite really kind of forefronts it. You know, because when you go to places like Korea and Japan, the dollar over there is really weak, so you get a lot for really cheap. But just because it's weak doesn't mean that everyone's thriving, right? Which was very apparent when you looked at like V's dad's situation, where soju is super cheap over there. It's why drinking culture is such a big thing. Alcohol is like, whatever. He spends more money on alcohol. The amount of alcohol, like soju bars, were in that house. That man should have been dead by now. But you could tell that they were there for days. Rocky heard alcohol and he got up. He was like, where? So it's kind of like when the characters who are poor, they really like, it's like Squid Game level, like poor. And it's sad. And it's reality. But does the government do nothing about it? No. What's your first point?
The opening was depressing.
I don't remember it.
It literally just opens up on the fire.
Yeah, I
Like,
couldn't.
that threw me off so bad.
It happened every fucking episode.
Every episode they like gave us a little bit more of the flashback, but they wouldn't give us the whole flashback. Like, I'm still confused on who did what. How were all the boys connected to the fire?
I thought it was that Jin came. It wasn't it Jin that went back in time.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was him setting the fire because he had to set it for some reason.
But he doesn't go back that far.
No,
He only goes back to April 11th.
And what day was the fire?
That was like
Before?
years, way before.
Is it? Oh, so it's like one of those fires that kind of just. Isn't it the fire that killed Yoongi's mom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess it's just one of those things where like it just happens to connect all of them. That's why they all become friends. It's just that it's like red string tape. They're always going to be connected, and that was just probably the catalyst that kind of put them all together.
That's crazy though.
Happens.
You know what it reminded me a lot of though? It reminded me of the movie Crash.
I've never seen Crash.
Oh my god, Danny.
No, don't be like you've never seen it. Okay, because Danny's done that, and you haven't seen a lot that I've seen. So,
Well, in that movie, every character,
she rolled her eyes. I'm gonna beat her. Go ahead.
every main character in that movie, their like storylines connect because of like it's like a domino effect. So whatever one does, it affects the other.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just reminded me of that a lot, and that's a really depressing movie too.
It won Best Picture.
It was a good movie.
Should have.
Why not? I liked it.
It's debated to be the worst Best Picture pick of all time.
Oh well, I liked it.
This is such a weird topic to be talking about. Crash.
Well, since we're talking about domino effects.
Anyway, not to get distracted, but to get distracted.
But we digress.
All the parents were horrible.
I hated Jimin's mom with a burning passion.
Can I just say, Jimin's mom is a prime example, and I think I talked about this when we did Perfect Propose, is how crazy these TV series that rarely get seen, whether because of the topic, the genre, or I guess in this case, the streaming service, where they talk about a very specific topic that should be confronted in the country, but it's kind of like ignored. Because Jimin very clearly has some very serious mental health issues.
And that's schizophrenia.
That's what I was going to say. It's schizophrenia, right? And his parents are uber religious. And instead of confronting it and helping him, it's very much just, if you tell your friend, she didn't want him making any friends. None of them. She wanted him to be friends with anybody.
Which is low-key kind of crazy.
She wanted it because she was afraid that if it got out, he would have to change schools again. Instead of confronting it and allowing him to have connections. And then his brother was ignoring him. And I think it was very clear the mom was kind of like hesitant to take him to America, not because she was like going to America. I'm pretty sure it's because the brother didn't want him around. And when he sent that last email, I remember I got so heated. I wrote in my notes that if he snapped and killed all of them, I would still be on his side. Because he got an email back from his brother who was like, basically being like, you're getting mad at us, but we have to deal with your problems. You're inconvenience to us. And they know that he saw something. They know that something had happened. And because they're religious nut fucks who like, they had the Last Supper above their couch. next to a cross.
I didn't notice that. I didn't
I
notice
did.
any of that.
I clocked it the moment it came on screen, and that's when I knew, oh, that's why she's a fucking bitch. Because she's one of the, and I'm a Catholic, all right? I don't want to hear it. I'm still, I want to say a practicing Catholic, but I still go to church here and there. I still pray. But especially in a place like Korea where they already don't treat mental health seriously, and a lot of the reason why snooze signs happen in Korea is because of the lack of understanding, mixed in religion, and her whole thing. I'm surprised she allowed him in the hospital. And it wasn't like a pray the misery away type thing. I think it's because they realized they couldn't handle him. But then they have that whole scene where he kind of basically is like, you're going to do what I say at this point, or else I'm going to snap at you types. Because they had that whole moment when the brother came back and the brother snapped at him.
Graduation.
Yeah. And it's like, no, I'm done. I'm not dealing with, type thing. Where they go to the priest and the priest is like, you should come to, I think it was like a Sunday school type thing. I couldn't remember. And he's like, well, I just don't think my mom wants me to do that. I don't think she thinks I'm ready yet.
That was mad funny when he did that. I
was like, thank God you're standing up for yourself. And she got embarrassed. And it's like, well, you've been doing that for so long, and now he's using that against you. That's on you. That's on you. But how terrifying, because that's a real thing over there. And this is not to excuse the male Korean population, but you have to kind of see that that's a lot of why a lot of Korean men are not up there. Because their mental health doesn't get treated right. It's they get treated to this ideal, and then look what happens. The one thing that I hated was that after they went to the beach and they were being questioned about the dead body, even though they had nothing to do with it, but I get they would have been questioned anyway because they were the most recent ones there. His mom saying, what was that? What did she say? Oh my God. Like, how much more can I deal with you, basically?
Yeah.
I was like...
And then she blamed it on the other boys. She's like, none of this would have happened if you weren't hanging out with them.
And then when he got scared because he saw that the kid following him, he went to grab her arm and she pushed it off. I was like, then why do you have him in the hospital? Is it really just a safe face? Because you could send him away. Most people already know he's got an issue. I don't get why you're doing so much just to treat him like shit. Because one day he will snap. And he will get you. And I wish that would have happened. That would have been such a better ending.
All of their parents were so bad, though. That's the thing.
The only one who had decent parents was, Hobie had the woman from the orphanage.
She was such a sweetheart. I really liked her.
And then it was...
Mm-hmm. And then I was okay with Namjoon's parents until, towards the end.
I wasn't.
Because, I understand where he's coming from of having to be the breadwinner of the family. Especially when his dad is sick and they got no money. But it's towards the end, she started getting very, weird about it. And that's where I was like, okay.
She had been like that from the beginning, in my opinion. Because when they announced he was getting the scholarship and they told her he can't work, he has to focus, she very much was hesitant.
She was hesitant, but she basically said, you come first. That's why I thought the switch up was weird at the end.
But it was such a bullshit lie. Because it's if you know that your son already has such a potential future, that he could make it out. He can make it out, get a job that could pay for all these problems. Yeah, it might take a while, but at least he has a future lined up where even if your husband's got, you are going to be taken care of because that's a very big thing over there, right? She still wouldn't find a job. She still was dealing with a son who was constantly being arrested.
Oh, the other one, yeah.
That's what pissed me off. And it was kind of like the mask fully dropped by the end of it, in my opinion. When she was like, it's not always about you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, your son dropped out of school. He dropped out. That was so hard. He dropped out. He was working 3 or 4 jobs. He dropped out. He had such a bright future. And because of the family, he had to drop out. It was so fucked. It was so messed up. It's so sad. The parentification of children. That's what happens.
Yeah.
I was just on Twitter, while we were setting up the mics, and there was a video that came up about a girl who her mom has basically made her the babysitter. This happens a lot. I will say this happens a lot in non-white families, because I can't say it's right, it happens a lot, where the girl is always being made to babysit her siblings. And during prom weekend, she just wanted one weekend to herself to get ready for prom. Apparently, she was at the nail salon getting her nails done, and her mom called the nail salon saying that she's gonna have to babysit her siblings while she's getting her nails done.
Oh no, that's so bad.
It's bad, but that's how it is. It's like the people are so nowadays are so. This is why people aren't having. That's another reason why people aren't having kids, by the way. Because why would I have a kid after spending my entire life taking care of your kids? Am I going to put myself through that? And that's what's so sad about the RM storyline, is that he had such a bright future. His mom would have been well taken care of, and she squandered it because she couldn't get her family shit together. Like, I understand the dad is sick, but there's resource. Like, I mean, I can't say there's resources because I don't really know, but she was healthy enough that she could have gotten a job. Like, was she at any point mentioned to have been like injured or anything? She was a lazy bitch.
I also feel like the thing with the aunt was really weird. Like, it felt more like her trying not to hurt her pride than actual beef with the aunt.
I fucking hate that shit. I hate when that happens. You have an out. Take the money. Like, it's not to talk about a Reddit story that I heard. Like, there's a difference where, like, it's definitely not a pride thing, but it's definitely like, I wouldn't accept the money even though it would help because I don't want that to be held over me. But in this case, again, your son has a future and you're fucking it up. It's just so, I felt so bad for him. Mm-hmm. And him and Jin were like in love and they were gonna get married.
Oh my god.
I want to point out the first few episodes of what I watched. That's why I would text Lily and be like, none of these boys are kissing, but they're so close to kissing. No. What was it? The scene with, was it RM and Yoongi where they're like, he's like trying to distract Yoongi.
It was Jin.
It was Jin? It was Jin. Jin was trying to distract Yoongi because they were trying to set up the party. And then he like says something to it and the woman walking by goes, oh my god, he's gonna confess. And we're like, yes! that would have been me. Like, oh, he's gonna confess.
And just how scared he was.
Yeah.
He was like... so funny. And then the fact that he brings it up again at the party is like,
my god,
just making sure,
like,
you're into women, right?
This
That
would
was so
have been 10 times better had they kissed.
No.
Artem and Jin. I was shipping Artem and Jin by the end of it. I was like, no, yeah, I see it. I get it. They're not that many RM Jin shippers, but I was here for it.
Are you kidding me?
Are there not? I don't follow the ships. I feel like the only ship I hear about is V-Cook. Is it V-Cook?
Vimin, I feel like is the one.
I always heard V-Cook.
Oh, see, that's how we know we're indifferent.
I mean, I don't ship any of them at all. To be honest, I block people who are like too much. No offense, but if you've gotten a freebie from me, then you're like, why am I blocked? If you're a shipping account, but you're like the extreme type of shipping account, I probably blocked you.
Oh my god.
I can't. I find it so creepy. I'm sorry. I don't like the ones that are like, they're really together. Don't you see? They have the same phone case, so they're together.
Okay, Batman.
Exactly. Well, that's...
Like
Wait, is the character's name Rachel? What is it from the movie? Rachel!
Where's Rachel?
And that is my Christian Bale impersonation.
Amazing.
Thank you. 10 out of 10. I know. I'd make an amazing Batman.
Love that.
I hate you.
No, but I feel like my favorite pairing was definitely
Your favorite pairing?
No, like, well, because if you really think about it, the friends were really paired off. So my favorite pairing was definitely, was it Jimin and Hobi? Because I feel like they were both polar opposites. Like, one was faking being okay.
Star-crossed lovers.
Huh?
Because they weren't allowed to be together.
And the other one was faking, you know.
Yeah. Because Jimin's mom wouldn't let him near Hobi. I
felt so bad about that. Like,
I just thought it was so weird. Like, you don't want your son to make friends that's gonna make him snap. I feel like he was gonna snap, and he did.
I do remember reading it in the notes too. I feel like that storyline was pretty on point. Like, they kept that. They didn't really change it much.
A part of me wishes I would have read it, but I'm also kind of glad I didn't, because I feel like this would have been more for me to have to like.
There's more anger.
It's so annoying. Like,
I mean, it was good. I don't know. I liked it.
V pissed me off.
Why? He was my favorite. He was
One,
such a child.
I felt really sad. He snapped after he found the cat. That hurt.
Yeah.
It's always sad. My frustration was that, and I get it. He's kind of. I can't fault him in the sense of like when you're coming from a broken home, right? And you're kind of conditioned to, I don't want to say, he saw his dad as a stray cat. That's kind of what I saw it as. Because he felt responsible in the same way that he did for the cat in taking care of his dad and being there for his dad, right? It's why he wouldn't go live with his mom and the sister. And there gets to a point where there's a limit.
He wanted to be the hero of the story. That's really what it was. That's why his episode was on Punman.
Yeah. And there's a hard line truth that needs to be, it was kind of explained, but then he didn't really learn it, was that some people just aren't worth saving. And his dad, I think it was his dad, I guess just to bring up the sci-fi element in the series.
Which took way too long.
It wasn't until the last episode. I had to look this up because I was really confused. I think someone mentioned that it was his dad that originally went back in time to try to fix things, and that he failed so many times that it affected him mentally so badly that's why he doesn't remember. And that's why he's like that, right? So that aside, there is a line, and what made me angry was that his mother got away from his dad for a reason. Like, there's an entire scene where he walks in, he's like, "Did you hit my sister?" Right? And gets mad at him. And I don't know about you, but if I was in that situation and you told me my dad knocked out my brother or whatever, because he came into what is essentially his home, it's still the family home. My brother doesn't live with us right now, but he still has a key to this house. He comes and goes whenever he pleases, right? I don't think I would ever speak to my father ever again.
I agree.
And the fact that instead of doing that, he brought his father to his mother and his sister, because he went to go. Was he staying with them, I guess, by this point or something like that? Or was he kind of just trying to get back? I can't remember what was going on, but I remember he mentioned he was bringing his dad to his mom's birthday. And then he fucking went insane when V was out of the house, and his mother had to lock herself and his sister in the room as his dad was he grabbed the knife to stab them. He was gonna kill them. And then he had to kill his dad. Like, that was the thing. There was no way that he was going to be safe. The only other way that would have ended would have been if he would have sedated his dad and so he like knocked him out and gotten the police involved, and his dad would have been arrested and put away forever. And instead, because the commotion and the weapon and everything, he unfortunately had to stab his dad, and he was dead.
It's sad because he became the hero, but for the wrong reason.
Exactly. And now, what got me angry, by the way, after that was that I don't think we ever got like the end result of what happened to all of that, in the sense of like, did we see I want to point out, when it hinted that last episode, I was really speed throughing it because I was exhausted, and I was like, this is taking too long for me to get to. I just want to get to, but I don't think we don't get any end result of like if he ends up staying with his mom or what happens, right? I don't remember.
Well, the last episode, I think that's the episode that's like really, really based on the webtoon and the music videos. So based on that, I mean, he just gets arrested. He basically replaces Yoongi in like that infamous in public persona. Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but if I was his sister, I would never forgive him. Because we were telling you for years to let dad go, and then look what you did. You killed him. I would say the mom, when the mom was screaming, she wasn't crying because he was dead. She was crying and screaming because all of that happened on her birthday, and now the family's destroyed.
Yeah.
And it made me so, again, I understand he wanted to be the hero. It just made me so angry. And I think it's just because we've seen it so many times. I'm just like, I'm so tired of these types of storylines. I would have felt more better if he had just accepted it. But again, we wouldn't have a plot if he did. Mm-hmm. But it was so angry.
I do want to go back to Yoongi because he made me laugh so much. Like, you know, aside from all the sad story.
And the creepy principal.
Every time he laid down, it made me laugh.
That's how I knew that was Yoongi. Like, the first scene when they go into the room, I'm like, that's Yoongi.
He was already laying down in this attention room.
Like, there you go.
That was kind of funny. I do wish they kind of spoke more about the connection between him and Jungkook.
Mm-hmm.
Because, at least in the book, it's a lot more detailed. Mm-hmm. Like, why Yoongi tries to stay away from Jungkook. And I feel like in this one, they added things to lead up to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it made no sense. I feel like had they left that part of the storyline pretty accurate to the book or the notes, it would have been so much better.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say these episodes didn't have to be an hour long? Not to sidetrack, but to get to, like, we'll get to the drunk, I think, but I think that's what really killed me is that they were, I haven't read the books, but it sounds like they added a lot more unnecessary.
I don't think that was in the books. Now, unless if it's in the second book and I didn't read that.
Do you have the second book?
I do. I feel like we could have gone without the whole...
Oh, wait. Okay. July 11th, year 22. I looked around my dad, the mayor, the people from the Scholarship Foundation, and the president of the construction company. They were all familiar faces. I sat in an empty seat next to Uncle. I'm not reading names. The meeting got underway. I took out my notebook but didn't jot anything down. I wasn't interesting, nor was the meeting important. They talked about starting the redevelopment earlier. With areas 3 pretty much cleared out, shouldn't we tear down the place now? So they do talk about it. It is the redevelopment is.
Okay, so these were plot points. I wonder if the principal plot line is in the notes. I don't think so. I know in the notes, I forgot if it's in the first book or the second book, it does mention that the principal was going to take care of Jin. Like, that was, like, one of the first couple pages.
Can I just say, I don't like how they write their names.
Oh, well, that's because...
They capitalize so many different letters.
I know. And then the way they spell Yoongi, they use the K.
No, not on this one.
Not on this one?
No.
In the webtoon, they do.
Oh. I'm looking at all of Yoongi's pages to see if there's any mention of the principal. Because it would say principal. Oh. Nope. I would have to go through this whole book. I'm sure if we flip through it as we're talking, I'll be like, wait! But so far, I don't see anything.
I wonder if it's in just the second book that really talks about it.
I don't think the principal is mentioned in here because I'm flipped through. Unless it's mentioned by a different character, but I'm mostly keeping an eye on Yoongi's.
We could talk about Jungkook's brother. I hated him with a burning passion.
His brother was kind of just pathetic.
He was.
Homeboy...
I don't remember him being that mean in the books.
Well, they need drama. It also is just one of those, and I know what I keep saying. It's one of those Korean stereotypes. If I know, I'm not Korean, but I've seen enough. I know enough. I've met enough to be like, yeah, I guess this makes sense. But this happens anyway, like in blended families. So she marries the brother's father, whatever, right? And they're one of those couples that now they're married in, they're forcing their kids to be a blended family. Forcing to say, this is your new mom, this is your new brother. And he's never asked for any of that. I think it's mentioned his mother left. No, his mother left, the brother's mother left. And that Jungkook's dad had passed away. Right? So there's like a difference. In that she's still alive, his mother's still alive, she just doesn't want to be around him. If his dad had never died, they wouldn't be a family type deal. And she very much is one of those women who needs to have a man provide for her family, right? So I'm sure they care for each other, but she just needed to be. She didn't want to be a single mom.
Yeah,
and because of that, she kind of just allows the husband to do whatever. Because the amount of times her husband abuses Cookie and doesn't do anything, the fact that he shoved or sprayed him, waterboarded him, and that's a punishment, is horrifying.
Yeah. I felt so bad.
I mean, he did steal the money. But still.
I feel like they were so well off that that shouldn't have been such a big.
It wasn't, they were, yeah, it's like they were upper middle class, I guess.
Exactly. Like, had it been like one of the other families, okay, I kind of get it, but no, that was too much.
He was golfing with Jin's dad.
Yeah.
Like, and then the brother getting jealous to an extreme where it's like, the more you do this and the more that it comes out, the more your dad's gonna get mad at you. So I don't understand the point in doing all of that because you got caught so many times. And I can understand why the parents wouldn't want him to hang out with Yoongi because Yoongi has this like reputation and this rumor around him is surrounding his mother. It makes sense as to why. Like I could understand that. I never understood, like it's very clear because you know, if that was my kid, I'd probably be a little hesitant knowing what we would have known. But the fact that like you know, he finds out, I want to point out the only reason that he accepts that the brother took the money was because Jin told him. And he knows that Jin is the assemblyman's son. Had it been any other friend, would that have happened? Probably not. Mm-mm. And then the fact that, like, what was crazy to me was that his brother, his stepbrother, right, knew that, like, he didn't care about his life. Jungkook was one of those characters where it's like, he's got such a lively personality, but he's going to hurt himself one day, and he's not going to be here. And it was very apparent when that had happened and they went onto the roof and then he climbed onto the thing in front of Jin and almost jumped. And like threatened to jump. Right?
Or even after that, when the brother came.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was insane.
That was one of the things that he would have stressed himself. I don't know if we get flagged for saying the actual word. And done it in a way where he would have been freed, but also his brother would have gotten in trouble for it. Mm-hmm. That would have been like his last act. Because he doesn't care about his life at all. Like, he was sad when they thought Yoongi was dead because those are his friends. That's not. He doesn't care about himself. Because he doesn't care about himself. But if it was anyone else, it would be a problem.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay, so going back to the whole, like, pairing between those two. It's the fact that the brother was pushed so much to make Yoongi seem like Jungkook's reason that, you know, to be so connected to him was really frustrating to me. Because, like, in the books, right? Mm-hmm. The reason they get along so well is because they're both depressed, mm-hmm. right? That's like the connection that they see, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jungkook also has his issues with his family in the book, but it's not. It's like he's already past that, like, you know.
Kind of over it.
But then it's like with the drama, they really push the brother being such like a bad person that it's like, oh well, Jungkook would rather have Yoongi as a brother. You know what I mean?
Because in a book, it's easier to, like, not be so explicit, where in a drama, you need more of that. It has to be harsher.
I guess.
The scene where he's not... It pissed me off because the mom defended the brother just to kind of get peace into the family.
Oh, and he was like, oh, I knew he was there. Why he was there?
Yeah.
That annoyed me.
Because, again, she is just saving face because there's a line. And it's going to get to a point where she wouldn't divorce the dad, but I'm sure the dad at some point would be like, we can't stay married anymore if this is going to continue type thing, because now your son's being the problem or causing my son to be the problem, right? And I think that's what the brother wants. That's why the brother kept pushing. Mm-hmm. But again, it was like, I just thought it was crazy that he pushed Yoongi to a point when he started beating him and his friends kept filming. I was like, yo, if I was Yoongi, I would have turned around and started beating them as well.
Yeah,
there would have been no footage.
My thing is that I don't know.
Why, what?
Had I been Jungkook, I would have been like, yo, police, check those cameras, check those phones.
Because it still had damning evidence of, like...
But they were already recording way before he threw a punch.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what got me tight. Had they started recording as soon as he threw the punch, okay, fine. There's no evidence to, like, support Yoongi. But it was very clear that they were recording everything that the brother was saying. Yeah, and that's what got me.
I didn't get that either. You're right. I don't understand why that was like... It didn't make any sense. Because this show was so... Because that was, what, the second to last episode? Third to last episode? Those last two episodes were so rushed. But also so long.
It was so weird. It's like... I feel like had they not introduced the time travel thing...
Which
As
again,
just like an origin story would have been fine.
that the time travel thing would have been a last episode, last scene type thing, and that would have been the
open ending.
for season. That would have been like the opening for season 2, which they never got.
Like, I would have rather had like the second to last episode be like the full story of what happened to Yoongi's mom.
It would have made sense to just kind of introduce them and all that. But it was but it was frustrating. It was frustrating because I remember there was time travel. I was waiting for it. I was like, doesn't one of them die?
I really didn't think it was gonna be in it. I didn't think the time travel was gonna be in it at all. From my understanding, it was supposed to be just the origin story, like how they all met and everything.
We're done. I mean, I don't really have much to talk about. I don't want to go too in depth on everything because that's not the point. Although, how many of y'all are actually gonna go in and look up this show or even find it?
There's a lot of links on Tumblr. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe we shouldn't be explicitly saying where all this is.
There were totally not a lot of links on Tumblr.
Yeah, I mean they've been there for years. I don't even remember when the show came out. It's just again
2024.
Ugh.
So it's been like 2
It's
years.
been 2 years.
Yeah.
I thought this came out like 20.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, this should have come out mad
No,
earlier.
but now that makes when I'm saying that this show should have been on a streaming service like Disney Plus, it explains like it should have been on Disney Plus.
I still disagree.
No, because if you're telling me 2024, when I want to see when the documentaries and stuff, what year those started getting published on here. When was D-Day?
2023?
So this should have been on Disney Plus.
I don't know.
This should have been because this would have been more accessible to fans, and it would have been so much easier for us to watch it.
I think this is just their way of saying, hey, that the beef's over and this is the last of it.
Yeah, I want to point out that it's 2022.
My point still stands.
No,
I think so.
no. Because it's so unfair to fans. It's so inaccessible. It's just not right. That's so disheartening. I hate that. I'm more mad that it's so inaccessible than anything else.
I guess I would agree with that. Like, I feel like after a couple of years, they should put it on streaming services. But for the first...
They're not going to because the problem with doing that is that they're never going to put it on like Disney Plus or anything now because there's no point. If they had done this from the beginning, let's put it this way: if this had gone on Disney Plus, it would have done numbers and we would have gotten a second season, and we're not, which is sad because I'll give it to the actors, the production, all of that was really good.
I was mad at the ending, though. The little CGI at the ending just threw me
That
off.
was stupid.
Why was he floating in
That's
the
what
air?
happens when you budget to a company that you have to use cryptocurrency to watch this on. That's the problem. I mean, okay, should we do our rating? Because I'm kind of over it.
Are you being over it?
I am. I'm over this. It's like I don't have anything else to talk about.
There is one more thing I do want to bring up.
Okay,
It's the
what?
thing that like annoyed me the most because towards I think it might have been the fourth episode, right? When Jin stayed out late and then he goes back home and his dad is in his room. We see the book. Is it Damien? I think that's how you pronounce it. That's the book that Wings is based off of. So I was like, oh my god, this is where things are starting to connect. And then after that, we see the first tag. No, I lied. It's not the first tag. I know it was the third one. But you start to see where like the names start to connect to each episode, right? So we had Begin, we had Lie. And I was like, oh my god, okay, so this is tying into the Wings stuff. Because those were the solos and those were the songs and everything. And then they just threw in Ant-Man Man. And that threw me off so much.
I would find when that happened. I was like, I was ready to start playing, and then it didn't. And I was like,
I was so confused. Like, I really didn't know where these titles were going. And then they just got weirder and weirder. Like, what was the 13th? Was the 13th something?
I thought it was the notes.
That was the last one. That was the last one. But
I don't remember.
the 13th Apostle. That one threw me off. Then it was Asteroid 2019. Okay, what does that mean? How does that connect to anything? Because I don't remember reading that in the books.
Because more than likely they gave up after they realized that this wasn't going anywhere important.
Oh, the other one that also confused me, I don't even know how to pronounce this, but I found that it's a fish. I had to Google it. I was like, what does this word mean? It was Cetomimidae. It's a type of fish. don't understand how it connects. It made no sense to me, but that was just the most the most confusing part of the show. Also, why were the episode names like smack in the middle of the episode? Like that should have been like a 5-minute intro, boom, entry title. Yeah, no. It was like 30 minutes in.
Because they didn't care. They didn't care.
That stressed me out.
Because they, again, it was not going on a streaming service. Not people were going to watch it. Okay? It did. To be honest, when this series dropped, I didn't know about it until people were, like, posting links and shit. Or, like, it wasn't until Twitter told me. I was like, what do you mean? I don't think they even posted this on the BTS accounts.
I knew.
Good for you. My anger towards all of this is that this was such a big thing for the fans, right? You're making this for the fans, and then you're not making it accessible for the fans.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, of all of the all of the media that we've gotten for this universe, my favorite has to be the webtoon.
I have not read or consumed any of the other ones, so I guess it's just this one.
You know, I made my mom watch the webtoon because someone on Facebook made the Spanish translations. So I had her read it every week with me. She was very confused, but she gave it a 10 out of 10.
Sure she did.
Yeah.
Was it to just shut you up?
That's so mean.
Probably.
It's so mean.
I'm sorry. I love BTS, but this is like, I just don't care. I just didn't care.
No fun.
It's not. It was just, again, it was exhausting.
It's sad, but I mean, it's nice.
This could have been done so much better.
Yeah. I mean,
Could have been handled better.
I definitely, like you said before, I like the actors. I think their portrayals were perfect for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I like how the one who played Jimin, his voice did the thing
Yeah.
that Jimin does, where like it goes kind of like a kind of high, but like not like a falsetto, but it just goes like a little higher.
I like the cookie look like a baby.
He kept making the face that Jungkook made, and I love that.
Again, it's just it's so sad because you have these really talented actors, and they portray, because it's like one of those things where it's like they're not just portraying BTS, right? They have to portray specific characters that just so happen to also be them. So it's like mixing two people into one character. And they do it so well. And I'm pretty sure if we mention this to a new BTS fan, they would have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
No.
They will have never seen it. They probably won't even run to watch this. I guess that in this case, let's hope that people run to watch this.
I wish they'd let Yoongi play the piano, because that was one thing that they didn't do at all, and that was like a big part of the book.
BTS should have cameoed.
Was their music not enough?
No. I think it would have made sense to have them cameo in like one of the school scenes or something.
I guess.
Just because again, if you're going to make a whole series based on like what is essentially a 3-album journey and use their faces and their names, you might as well have them cameo. Just for the hell of it.
That's true. All right, I guess we could do our ratings.
Okay, you want to go first?
I'd give it a 6. 6 out of 10.
I'm going to get a 5. I was exhausted by the end of it. I just didn't. It was too depressing. I don't like watching too many shows that are just too depressing. But it wasn't bad.
I didn't mind the depression.
I didn't want to see my favorite member get killed.
Well, good thing they didn't use them as the actors.
It's still him.
I guess.
You rolling your eyes. I'm gonna throw something at you. All right, Lilia. What is our song of the week?
Okay, so it's actually really funny we picked this song because I feel like this phrase was mentioned so much in the drama for the song not to appear.
Mm-hmm.
But this week, our song is going to be Save Me by BTS. Woo!
Imagine if you said Save Me by TXT.
Oh
like,
God, no.
Of course it would be a BTS song. So yeah, Save Me. Save Me. Yeah. So, do you have anything else to add?
No. I hope everyone has a nice April 11th. If you haven't read the books, read the books, because they're great.
Don't get stuck in a time loop.
Yeah, basically.
Or do. It's your life.
Watch the webtoon. No, read the webtoon.
Watch the series. It's not accessible on its original form, but at least I feel like if more people watch it, even if it's not a good site, and talk about it and bring up the interest, maybe Big Hit will be pushed to try to acquire it back to put it somewhere where it's actually accessible. Because I just don't like the fact that like BTS is this big entity and one piece of their I guess I don't know, the media is so inaccessible.
I feel like if the webtoon gets more views again, it'll probably see the peak interest, you know?
True.
Because that's the only thing they can really monitor. They can't monitor books. I don't think they're in print anymore.
I don't think these books are as accessible as they were before. I guess, read the webtoon, even if it's just opening like a couple of chapters and scrolling quick like here and there. Try to get that back in there. Or, I mean, I guess us dropping this the week that it's happening might help.
I hope so.
I don't know. All right. Well, I guess we'll see you guys in the next one. What's next week's episode, Lilia?
Next week's episode will be Perfect Propose.
It's a Japanese BL.
Woo!
Something a little more calming than this week's. And short.
And cute.
And not as long.
Oh, you know what I forgot to mention? I lost it with the Subway placement. The product placement for Subway. That made me laugh really hard.
See you guys in the next one. Bye! All right, guys, that's it for this entry. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. On Twitter, you can find us at FG Diaries Pod. On Tumblr, TikTok, and Instagram, you'll find us at FG Diaries Podcast. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and hope you all have a wonderful fangirly day.